Questions with a Pro. And I'm excited that my guest for tonight's show is... Wait a minute. Do I really need to tell you who this is? She's a gold medalist, she's a role model to so many goalkeepers, and she's a wizard in net. I mean, do you remember she stopped a penalty kick in the 83rd minute to help the United States to a 2-1 win over a victory over England in 2019? And I'm so honored and excited to say that tonight's guest is Alyssa Naeher. Thank you, Alyssa, for coming on 10 Questions with a Pro. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, Brady. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming on. All right, Alyssa, let's start off this interview. I like to ask all my pros, why did you become a goalkeeper?
I became a goalkeeper for two reasons. One, I loved playing basketball, so it seemed like seamless transition. And then two, I thought it was really cool that goalkeepers got to wear cool jerseys that were different from the rest of the team, and I wanted to wear the gloves. So it's that simple.
Yeah. Gloves are cool. I mean, they're a big part of the goalkeeper, but it's the protect your hands, but they're also cool. Like just wearing them on the field, and you're one of two people on the field that are only allowed to wear them. It's a cool feeling.
Yeah, totally.
What is your favorite part about being a goalkeeper?
My favorite part about being a goalkeeper is that I can see the whole field. I get to see everything that's happening in front of me. I get to see, it's just a cool position to be in, to just have everything kind of happening right in front.
You can see the whole field. You can see the coaches. You can see the fans or your parents. You can see what the other goalkeeper is doing. You can see the whole field. It's awesome.
Yeah, I can see it. I can see it all.
It's also just cool looking at it. Like some of the midfielders and defenders, the defenders still get a pretty good view, but you're back on the line and you can see the whole field where the ball's traveling, how your team scores. It's really cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
What motivates you to keep training hard and maintain being a professional goalkeeper?
I am motivated. I'm motivated by my teammates a lot. I constantly see them working hard and continuing to improve and work on things and get better. And I want to, they inspire me to keep working hard and pushing every day. But I'm also motivated by just wanting to be a better version of myself as a goalkeeper than I was yesterday. And I want to try to continue to keep improving on little areas in my game and keep perfecting those small nuances and, keep pushing on and trying to be the best that I can be.
Yeah. My teammates also motivate me a lot. But what else motivates me is watching goalkeepers and make a big time save, and I'm like, I want to make that save, so I want to go train and make that save.
Yeah, absolutely.
Is training with the national team different than when training with Chicago Red Stars?
It is a little bit different. I would say the biggest difference is that it is faster. Everything happens faster. The speed of play, the decision making, everything is just, you take it up a notch, and you have to be able to just be able to, kind of keep staying at that speed, at that level.
Why is it faster? Why is the different speeds of the game? What's the difference? Why is it faster?
I think it's faster because at the professional level, and I have a lot of great teammates here in Chicago, and but I think the difference in when you get in with the national team is you have the best of the best. You have the elite players. You have the best players from every professional team coming together to be, just it picks up the competitiveness. It picks up the intensity just by bringing in that type of elite group of athletes.
That makes sense because you might have one amazing player on your team, and then there might be another amazing team that play for the same country, and then they come together on this one big team and they have two solid players. Is that what it's like?
Yeah, you have the best of the best all competing on the same field at training and just pushing each other to raise the standards.
Awesome. Is playing style different in net for the national team or for Chicago Red Stars or even Penn State?
No, I don't think my playing style is different. I think obviously each team has little different ways that they like to play. I would say compared to Penn State, it's probably different just because I think the game has evolved a lot in the last 10 years since I was in college. So I've had to learn to evolve with it, and I think the biggest area of evolvement has been just goalkeepers are now viewed as not just goalkeepers but as actually the 11th player on the field. So our ability to be able to play out of the back and play with our feet has really come into focus a lot, which is not how it was when I was back at school. So that's been a fun evolution to be a part of and to keep working on that part of my game.
Yeah, because goalkeepers have definitely evolved since when soccer first started and to what the goalkeepers are now. They're using their feet. Goalkeepers use their feet in games more than they use their hands now.
Yes, that's very true.
It's awesome. So, is which team was better? I know you're on the national team and all those good players from the U.S. come together on one team, but what was your best team you think you were on going from a kid all the way to the professional level? What do you think your best team was?
The best team that I have ever been on is probably our 2019 World Cup team. I think that was probably the most talented group of individuals that I've been able to be a part of. And you said it, I've been very fortunate to play on a lot of really good teams. My U20 World Cup team was probably one of my favorite teams that I've ever played on. My Boston Breakers days of my rookie year, got to play with a lot of really great players back then, getting into fresh out of college right into the league. So I've been very fortunate to be part of a lot of really good teams and play with a lot of incredibly talented players. But I would say all encompassing, that 2019 World Cup team was probably the best.
I was sort of expecting that answer because it's the national team and all those players just come on to one team. Like I said, if there's two players and they come together on the same team, it's just one big team of great players.
Absolutely.
What sacrifices did you make through your life to be able to become a professional goalkeeper?
I think some of the biggest sacrifices is just time. Time with friends, time away from family. We travel a lot to do what we do, and I spent 2 years living abroad in Germany. That obviously you miss weddings, you miss funerals, you miss babies being born, you miss a lot of big life events with people. So I think that's probably the biggest sacrifice is just that time with friends and family.
Yeah. I know I'm a kid and I'm still growing from the next level, but I miss a lot of family time too. Maybe it's going to that practice or going to your grandparents' house or going to hang out with your cousins. It's all those tiny decisions.
Yeah, totally. And I got to give props to my parents because they had to sacrifice a lot of time as well, driving me around everywhere when I was your age growing up. So before I had the ability to drive myself everywhere, quick shout out to all the parents out there who give up a lot of their own time and energy and effort for us as kids to be able to do what we love to do.
For sure, me and my parents and my sister pretty much live in the car for
Yes.
how much we're traveling.
Yes, that's very accurate.
What steps help you achieve the ability to become a professional goalkeeper?
I think just the combination of, I think even from when I was a kid, I remember going to the 99 World Cup opening game in the Meadowlands, and watching the U.S. play Denmark. And I remember leaving that game kind of having this idea in my head that that's the field that I want to be on someday. And I was an 11-year-old kid. So I think having that ultimate goal kind of instilled in me from a young age. But then I think there's so many different milestones along the way. So I think for me, it was taking everything and staying focused on one step at a time. I wanted to make the youth national teams and get involved with that. I wanted to get a college scholarship and play for a top 5 program. I wanted to, get drafted and become a professional. And I think, I wanted to play in the U20 World Cup and be the goalkeeper. I wanted to make the national team. and then I wanted to become the starting goalkeeper. So I think there's the end goal and what we're all striving for, but I think not getting lost in the process has kind of helped me stay on that path.
Cool. So you went to the game and you had this picture in your mind. I want to play on that field one day. So you trained hard and you had that picture in that mind. Is that what you like, to train hard to be able to become a pro?
Yeah, and I think there's something that feels good about working hard. I think there's something that feels satisfying about coming off of a field or getting off of a track and finishing a run, that that you've put the work in, and that you are putting yourself in the best possible situation to be selected for those different teams.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I already asked that. I'm sorry. Do you ever regret making those sacrifices to become a pro?
I do not. I do not regret those sacrifices. And I think the biggest, reminder of that, and I think one of my favorite moments of the World Cup in 2019 over the summer in France was my whole family was there. So kind of like I said before, I wasn't the only one to be making sacrifices for me to be able to get to this position. My family made a lot of sacrifices, my sisters, my friends. So to be able to have all of those people that have, kind of been on this journey with me this whole time, since I was just a kid, to have them all in the stands and kind of go through that big event, the culmination of all of our years of, whether it was driving in the car or going to a tournament or getting on a flight to go out of town or whatever it was, we were all in it together. So I think to be able to celebrate that moment and have all of us together in France last summer was something really special for me, and kind of, made me realize that all of those sacrifices were worth it, and I don't regret any of it.
Awesome. So I know you're on the national team, and so what's it like figuring out you're going to be on your first national team game, and you're on the field and you see the whole crowd and you see the field? What's it like?
It is a very surreal moment. It's something that you can't really describe and put into words. It's just an incredible feeling. It's a very proud moment. It's a very, you kind of see all of the work that you've put into it over the years, kind of come into focus a little bit when you're stepping onto the field, and it's just a very, usually you just can't stop smiling. It's just like a very proud moment to be able to represent your country, put on that jersey, and stand on that field with your teammates.
Awesome. If you weren't a professional goalkeeper, what else would you be?
As a kid growing up, my first dream was I wanted to be a professional basketball player. So I have gone the route of professional athlete, but I think if I was not a professional soccer player right now, I would probably try to own my own little business somewhere. I love going to coffee shops. I love doing, going to different places like that. I think that'd be really cool and really fun to have a little place like that.
Cool. What have you done on the field and off the field that you're most proud of?
I think on the field, I think the thing that I'm most proud of is, it's hard not to look at 2019 and that, standing on the podium with the American flag wrapped around me, that actually my sister had told me the day that they picked the roster for France. She texted me and said, "Hey, I just picked up an American flag. Make sure you look for me in the stands after the final, because I'm going to throw it down for you to run around the field with." And this was 3 months before, the final. So, and true to what she said, I found her after the game and she threw it down, and that's the flag that I had with me in the pictures and everything else. So that was a really proud moment to be able to be standing on that field with my teammates, knowing what we've gone through as a team, what we've gone through as individuals to get to that moment, and to have the gold medal obviously put around your neck was something really special. And then I think off the field, I think my proudest moment is just, I think that's still a work in progress. I think that is still, I have tried to use this platform that I've been blessed with, and try to help other people, and try to use my voice and my abilities to connect with different people to help people, and to just try to be not just a good athlete, but a good person. And I think that that's important in life. And I think that, I don't take anything for granted. And I want to be able to use that to help other people.
Yeah, I've always wanted to help other people out too, and I don't want to take things for granted. I don't want to be cocky or anything like that. I want to have the same attitude if I win or lose, if I raise a lot of money or if I don't, to help my Keeper for a Cure campaign. I just want to have a good attitude no matter what, and I just want to help people out.
Yeah, and I think you're doing that, Brady. I really do.
Thanks. What goalies or soccer players inspired you to want to be a professional goalkeeper?
When I was younger, I remember watching Brandon Scurry, obviously, growing up. She's was somebody that I definitely looked up to. I definitely looked up to Tim Howard. He's an incredible goalkeeper, an American legend. And I remember watching old school, men's World Cups of, Oliver Kahn and Kasper Schmeichel and, all those guys. And, even now Manuel Neuer, just emulating, the way he plays in his game. And I think just trying to, for me, even now, I've taken different bits and pieces I've been very fortunate to train with a lot of really great goalkeepers throughout my career. And I've taken little pieces of, what I've learned from them and incorporated and created my own style. And whether that's in-person training, whether that's from coaches, whether that's from watching other players, men and women, and trying to see what other people do and either how that can fit into my game or what doesn't work. And it's been fun to kind of, try all those different things.
So you did you ever look up to the players and you just thought I want to train harder to get to their level? Did you ever think of that?
Yeah, I think it was one of the coolest things in my career, I think, is that, I remember, like I said, I went to that the opening game of the 99 World Cup, and being a kid from Connecticut, I looked up to Christine Lilly, a fellow player from Connecticut, and I thought it was so cool that somebody from my small little state, I knew where she grew up, I knew where she came from, and to see her get and excel on that stage, I thought was really cool. And then when I got drafted to Boston as a rookie, she was playing for the Breakers. So I got to play with the player that I looked up to as a kid. And that was something that was really, really cool for me to be able to do my first couple years in Boston. And she really helped me learn how to become a pro.
That's awesome. What's it like playing from Penn State to the NWSL?
It is kind of like I said a little bit before, comparing the NWSL or my club team to the national team, is everything's faster. In college, it was, you got used to playing in college and you figured it out. And then to go play professionally, again, you're taking the best of the college players and putting them into professional teams. So I think then the level gets raised again, the standard gets raised again. So the same as before is going from one level to the next is the speed of play, the decision making, knowing what you're going to do before you get the ball, and just being as efficient and consistent as possible.
Nice. What are your favorite gloves to wear in net and why?
I wear the Nike SGT Reverse Stitch Pro, I think is the long version of it. I've worn it for 5 years now. I've always worn Nike since college, and I love it. It's snug on my hand. It makes me feel like I can actually feel the ball. There's not too much foam on it. There's just enough foam that cushions the shot from how hard these players can hit it now, but not so much that I can still feel kind of that what I'm doing.
Nice. What are the colors on them? Like, are they bright? Are they kind of dull? What are they like?
They kind of change from colorway to colorway. So the current glove is very bright because it's all pink, and but it matches the cleats. So the cleats are white but with pink outlining. So sometimes it ranges. I've had the black and white pairs that are obviously pretty subdued in terms of the colors, but they'd certainly make a lot of bright ones too.
Cool. What are the pair you're wearing now? Are they bright?
Yeah, they're bright pink.
Oh, so you're talking about the newer ones?
Yeah, the newest ones are they're bright pink.
Cool. Is there a save that you made in net that you're really proud of?
Yes, I think obviously the one that would stand out would be the penalty save against England. But if I'm being honest, I think I'm more proud of the save I made in the England game in the first half. Right after we scored, they came down and took a shot that save was a shot that we had trained hundreds of times. So I think just knowing how much we trained that shot, and then how second nature it felt to make that save, just kind of re-emphasized all of the work that we as a goalkeeper unit, between the goalkeepers and the coaches, had put into that attention to detail, so that in that moment you didn't have to think, you didn't have to do anything. It was just your body took over, and that was a very gratifying feeling.
Cool. So what was the shot you trained on? Was it top corner? Was it low hand? What was the shot? Like, where height was it?
It ended up being in the top corner, but it was a shot from just outside the 18. We knew a lot of the teams throughout the World Cup like to shoot from distance and like to take chances and just look for goal. So it ended up being to the top left corner.
Nice. But when you did play England, the one time you did get scored on, that was pretty close. She got up close to you, and she shot at top corner.
She did. She was pretty close.
Yeah. What advice would you give a young goalkeeper like myself that wants to play at the professional level?
I would tell you two things. I would tell you to, have a little bit of grace with yourself. Sometimes the best way we learn is through making mistakes or getting scored on, and that's something I still have to continue to tell myself every day. Is, mistakes are going to happen, and it's okay. Just learn from them. And I think the biggest thing is just don't ever stop learning. I think there's something to be learned every single day. And whether you're making progress that is, you've only moved an inch, or, you've moved a mile, I think your goal is trying to be better than you were yesterday. And sometimes that progress is slow and sometimes it's quick, but take advantage of every opportunity, good and bad, to learn something, and just continuing to grow as a player and a person.
Cool. That's some good advice. I'll remember that.
Good.
Do you have any questions for me?
Let's see. So, well, first of all, we got to get you we got to get you a 4-star jersey. But what is your go-to? So I assume you're a goalkeeper as well.
Probably Matt Turner and David De Gea.
Okay, good choices. Very good choices. Let's see. So tell me more about your your Goalkeepers for a Cure, or your nonprofit
for
that
a
you
Cure?
work with. Keeper for Cure, yeah.
So I started Keeper for a Cure last year. I thought of it because the coach, I went to this camp, and the coach told us we need to use skills to be leaders on the field and off the field. So I started thinking about helping people out, and my dad told me about a few people in my family had breast cancer, and one of them died from it. So I didn't want anybody to go through that experience ever again. So I'm trying my best to raise as much money as possible to help the women out.
That's awesome. You are a very impressive young man.
Thanks. Any other questions?
Let's see, if you could travel to any country in the world to play soccer, where would you choose to go? What's your favorite? What about a stadium, like a professional stadium? If you got the chance to play in it, where would you want to play?
Well, I've always been dying to play beach soccer.
Just
play beach soccer,
cool.
yeah.
Okay.
But if I really had to pick one team I'd really, really want to play for, it'd probably be Tottenham. They have one of the biggest stadiums.
They do. It's beautiful.
It is.
It's beautiful. It's a good choice. Very good choice.
All right. Thank you so much, Alyssa, for coming on 10 Questions with a Pro. Even though there might be a few more questions than 10. Thank you for taking time to talk with me. I also want to say thank you. Thank you for being such a big role model to me and so many other goalkeepers. You have just inspired so many goalkeepers in net to be fearless and strong. Your playing style and the way you make it look so easy is awesome to watch. Thank you, Alyssa. Remember to check out the show and all our other shows on our YouTube channel. Just search Keeper for a Cure. We also have a podcast on Spotify and iTunes. Just search Keeper for a Cure and remember to subscribe and like. Please visit www.keeperforacure.com to learn more about my Keeper for a Cure and what we're doing. I'm Brady Krysiewicz, and tonight's episode features Alyssa Naeher. Thank you for tuning in to 10 Questions with a Pro.
Thanks for having me, Brady. It was fun.